Hi everyone, this is Dr. Rakesh Shah from Life of Travel, but right now we are in Warsaw, Poland. You can see the old town behind us. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how I use travel to prolong the life, or at least create an illusion that I'm prolonging the life. So you will know it when I discuss this under 6 different category. You will know exactly what I mean. So we're going to keep walking in the old town, and I'll talk more about this particular topic in travel. So how do you define death? Okay, as a doctor, we declare the patient dead when patient stops responding, no response, no respiration means no breathing. Then number 3 is no heart rate, correct, no beating heart. Then the other ways to define the death is when you run out of the energy. The other way of defining death is when you become too rigid, like when somebody dies, a day or two later, the rigidity we call is a rigor mortis. Okay, that is how you define the death. And the other thing, the spiritually, if you want to define the death, is when you run out of the time that the universe or the God, whatever you want to call it, has sent you on this earth with. So there are 6 ways the death can be defined. So I'm going to tell you exactly how you can use the travel to prolong the life using all these 6 parameters. Okay, and this is the Warsaw Central Square, one of the central square, not the main square. We are going to go after this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is respiration. Let us assume that everybody come to this world with the fixed number of the breath, that is respiration. So how much you consume per minute, that's going to decide. Like, you have bank balance, and if you keep spending the money, you're going to run out of it one day. So this is how I look at the travel, that we all have a fixed amount of the respiration. And when you come to the place like this, where people are relaxed, enjoying the meal, it's a lunchtime in Warsaw, Poland. So your breathing slows down. That means you're consuming less breath per minute when you're walking in the streets like this, cobblestone street in the Europe, and churches like this. So this is a beautiful scenery that slows your breathing down. So this is how you're consuming less breathing per minute. So that's how you're creating the illusion, or maybe reality, of prolonging the life. So that was the first thing that you can use travel to prolong your life, which is respiration. So the second parameter that I use is heartbeat. Let us assume that we came to this earth with the fixed number of the heartbeat, and when you run out of the heartbeat, you are dead. So when you travel, this is not like a mountainous area, this is a European town, but towns like this where totally everybody is just having good time, or if you are hiking in the mountain with the nature, what happens is that your vagus nerve gets stimulated, and that basically slows your heart rate down. So what it means is that you're using less heartbeat per minute, right? So you're basically prolonging your life that way. So this is the second way I use travel to prolong the life, or as I said, creating the illusion of prolonging the life. So the third thing that I use to prolong the life in travel is time. Okay, now let us assume that we all have a fixed amount of the time on this planet Earth. Some live 30 years, some live 90 years, some live 100 years. Now, how do you prolong the time? Do you remember the saying where it says that the beauty of the sunset was so great that the time stood still? Yes, that is like Einstein said, time is all relative, right? So when you are having a good time, the time stands still. Okay, just like this, since I'm in Warsaw, I go to show this same place again and again, because this is where I am right now. But when you travel, you're going to encounter moments and experiences where you will feel that time stood still. That means the time is not moving. So using the same analogy before, you're actually using the less time per minute. It's not actually like that, but you can think like that. So that means you are prolonging the life, or at least creating the illusion of prolonging the life. So that was about the time. So the next thing travel does is it increases the sensitivity, because as I said, when patient dies, we try to check the response by doing the painful stimuli, and if the patient doesn't respond, that we declare the dead. That is one of the criteria, okay? That is not the only criteria, because if you are in coma, you can not respond, okay? So that's a different story. I'm talking about the dead person. So what travel does is basically it increases your sensitivity. All the 5 senses that you have, taste, touch, smell, sound, and sight, all those senses, the sensitivity increases. When you travel, you start noticing small little thing that you would probably miss or you would ignore if you are not traveling. If you are in the same surroundings, same comfortable environment, you're going to become less and less sensitive. So the travel basically increases your sensitivity, and that is how it increases the experience of the life. So in the fixed amount of the time, or the respiration, or the heartbeat, or whatever you want to consider, you're going to have more of the life. So that is how you're actually prolonging the life, and that's how I take it. So the next thing that I use travel to prolong the life is the life energy. Like, some people consider that whenever you run out of the life energy, you die. So when you travel, you definitely will feel that your energy level is up. Like yesterday we went to Auschwitz. We woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, took 5:40 train, and then train was 3 hours ride, and then hour and a half to Auschwitz, and then 3 hours in the line, and then 3.5 hours of tour, and then same distance traveling back. So it was a long day, but we were full of energy. So we felt that energy, and you can feel that energy in me right now. So travel basically adds a lot of energy, the life energy, to your life. So this is how you can use travel to prolong the life, by adding the energy. So the last thing is the flexibility. Okay, travel makes you flexible. Think about the kids, they are so flexible, but when you get older and older, your flexibility goes down, and eventually when you die, you achieve a state called rigor mortis that I mentioned in the introduction, where everything becomes tight. So the flexibility is synonymous with life, and when you travel, you got to be flexible, because like yesterday we were supposed to go on a tour, and the tour operator canceled the tour, and we had no choice but to rebook. We couldn't rebook, actually. We booked the train ticket on our own, then the bus ticket, and we didn't have the ticket to get into Auschwitz, and we just went on faith. And we were flexible enough to say, you know what, we'll go there. If we get in the line and if we get the ticket, we'll sit. If not, then no big deal. So with those travel plans, with the food, you have to be flexible, because we are vegetarians, so we don't get vegetarian food everywhere we go. We get some, but whatever we get, we eat like vegetarian. I'm not talking about non-vegetarian. So that's our personal choice, but I'm talking about flexibility despite being vegetarian in the food. So you will develop that flexibility in your attitude, in your preferences, everything, and that flexibility will show up in your body. And because plus you're walking, like if you're in Europe, you're walking all the time. So that actually helps with the flexibility too. So the travel increases your flexibility, and that is synonymous with prolonging the life, according to me. So that was the last thing about how I use the travel to prolong the life. Okay guys, so those were the 6 different ways you can use the travel to prolong the life and enjoy the views like this. This is a Warsaw Old Town. Behind me you can see I'm on the top of St. Anne's Cathedral Tower, bell tower, right there. So, prolonging life may not be your goal, but enjoying the views like this may be your goal. And I may not be prolonging my life actually time-wise, who knows? But when I'm alive, because of the travel, I get to enjoy the views like this in the perfect weather like this. And that itself is enough for me to think that my life is, I'm living multiple lives in just one life. So that itself is like prolonging the life, right? So thank you for watching, and we'll meet in the next video. Talk to you later. This is Dr. Rakesh Shah from Life of Travel, right now in Warsaw, Poland. Thank you.